Hey friends, Maxie here. You're joining me today for Senior Chair Yoga. I'm so happy to be here with you. Before we get started, I always like to give the reminder that this is your time that you took out of your day to show up for yourself. So even whatever you need, take it. If that's taking a modification, taking a break, getting off of your chair, laying on the ground the whole time, that's perfectly fine. Just honor what it is that you need here today. That being said, we'll go ahead and get started in seated mountain pose. With seated mountain pose, you want both of your feet to be about hip width distance. And that's going to be about 2/5 width apart, if that's helpful. And you want them to be rooted into the earth. From there, you want your legs engaged. You engage your calves. You engage the quads. Maybe you even bring the toes up off of the earth and feel that activation, right? When we do that, the quads activate, the calves activate. You can lower them down, but still keep that level of engagement. Shoulders relax down the back. You find that nice long neck, the crown of your head reaching towards the sky. Arms come out, palms face forward, and fingertips extend toward the earth. They extend, radiate out. We'll take a few breaths here, just anchoring into practice. We're starting with some energy this morning, so we're going to inhale. As we inhale, arms reach out to a T. As you exhale, bring that energy in, ending in prayer. Inhale. Exhale. Bring that energy in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, arms front and in. Hands in prayer pose. Take a moment, shut the eyes, and we'll set our intention for practice today. This can be anything that comes to mind. What is the reason you showed up here? Move the body, to connect with the breath, to be here now. Deep breath in as you call it to mind. Deep breath out as you send it into the universe. And we'll warm up the wrists and our arms a little bit. So first we'll take arms forward and take big wrist circles. It's okay if you're not really paying attention to which direction you're going. You just want to make sure that you're mindful enough that you go the opposite direction now. So we'll switch up, going the opposite way, getting that movement into the joints. Now we'll stretch this arm forward and my palm is facing down and I have pressure coming in. So you can feel this on the top of the wrist. And now I'm going to switch up. Now I'm pulling the fingertips back and feeling that nice stretch in the front. And we'll switch sides, pulling the hand forward, pushing back. Can feel intense. We don't often do a lot with our wrists and hands. They go ignored. Same with our feet. But it's very important to keep that mobility, keep that movement in these areas. Now we push back, pulling back. And you just have enough resistance to feel something, right? We don't want to hurt anything. We're just waking up the body. Now bring your hands in front of you. We'll open and close. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, few more. Okay, release. Shake out the arms, let that go. We'll move on to some seated sun salutations. If you've practiced with me before, we usually start with some sun salutations. It really just helps get the body warmed up, get us connected with our breath, and get us moving in our body. I'll show you in the front, and I'll turn to the side and show you this side so you can see that way too. We'll start in mountain. Hands are forward, feet pressed into the earth. Inhale, arms come out wide. You reach, reach, reach. Continue to reach all the way up. Fingertips connect at the top. Maybe gaze goes up. Exhale, hands come through heart center. We bow forward. We hinge forward. Start hinging from the hips. And maybe you stay here. Maybe hands can reach all the way to the mat. If they're on the mat, you let the head go down, forward fold. You'll inhale, find a standing halfway lift. Hands press into the shins or on top of the thighs as you find a nice flat back. And then exhale, you hinge forward, you bow forward one more time, releasing that head, releasing the arms. Inhale, arms come out and wide, up overhead, and hands come in heart center. Now I'll show you that from the side. Inhale, arms reach up, overhead, gaze up. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. We bow forward. Maybe we stay here. Maybe we hinge forward and release the head for a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. That's either pressing into the shins or the thighs, but finding a nice flat back. We aren't rounded. We have a flat back. And then hinge forward on the exhale, releasing. Let it go. Inhale, arms out, up and wide. Exhale, hands through heart center. We'll take 2 more rounds, working with the breath. Maybe you close your gaze and you work with your own movement, trusting yourself. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out wide. Exhale, hands to center. Take a breath in and a breath out. Last round. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, we hinge. Inhale, arms come up and wide. Exhale, hands through heart center. Thumb tips press into your sternum. Sternum presses into thumb tips. Now we'll move into seated marching. So I want you to come to the edge of your chair, but still make sure you have the support that you need below you. Arms can be at either side. They can be holding on to the chair. They can be holding on to the hips. I'm going to stay here. We're going to lift the right leg up, right? And so now the right leg is just lifted up. We have that engagement. The quad is turned on. Your glute is likely turned on. And I want you to think about lifting up through the chest, lifting up through the leg. I'm starting to shake. This is chair yoga, not easy yoga. And then we lower it back down. We'll shift to the other side, grounding the right leg, lifting the left. The foot is flexed. And you think about activating that glute, activating the thigh, activating the calf. And remember that trick, pulling the toes up to get that activation. I'm really feeling this here. So breathe with it, find the breath, and we'll release, we'll lower. Now we're gonna take a bunch of these. So we're gonna go right, left, right, left. So lift and lower, lift and lower. We'll keep this up. And if you want, you can get your arms involved. And the point is moving slow so that we have control, so that we're building that muscle. And you know we're gonna end with some pulsing at the top. So just brace yourself. Notice where the sticky spots are. Notice where it's tight. And engage that core and lifting. We'll do a few more on each side. And then we'll hold again. Right side comes up and we hold. We pulse up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. We switch sides. Left side. Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release and shake those legs out. I was really feeling that. And we'll take in just a few side stretches, get our mind somewhere else. So maybe you shift back, getting a little bit more support, grounding into the left hip, reaching right arm up and over, and really seeing if you can reach towards the back side of the room. So it would be the back side corner. And really thinking about finding that spot with the hand. And now finding the breath. We'll bring the arm down and just take a brief stretch before we get into the other side. And now we have the feet grounded, pushing into the right hip. We'll inhale, reach up and over, finding that side stretch and thinking of that same spot. So instead of just reaching back, can you imagine the back corner of a room where you're also reaching to the side and back? Beautiful. Really lift the chest, lift the neck, and breathe. All right, release that. Let it go, shake it out. And we'll move into some work with the block. So grab your block. If you don't have one, you can grab like a book. You could grab something that's light. Or you can just do what we're doing without a block. That's totally fine. Have the imaginary block. So we're going to take the block and bring both of our forearms to the outside of it. So now we're holding the block. And we're going to do some gentle movements. So first, we're going to reach to the side, to our right, and just notice how little you're going, right? I usually can turn pretty far, but I have my arm helping me. So just notice the difference when you don't have that engagement. You're doing all of the engagement with your core. And come back to center. Now we'll go the other way to the left, right? And you're just moving the arms. We're just twisting the top torso. My knees are forward and you're squeezing that block, right? The more that you squeeze, the more engagement that you have. And maybe you imagine your fingertips are extending out and back to center. Now we'll take 5 of these. So we're going 5 this way, 5 that way. So nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Move in with the breath. 4. And 5. Now we're going to go to our edge, back over on this side, and we'll pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Now we'll pulse this side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. You drop your block, and I'll just give you a break. Chance to shake it out. Make any movements that you need. And then we'll move on. So we're bringing that block back to center. We're going to make some circles. So you're going to go down to the bottom, up to the side, elbows up, and to the other side. So one big circle, if you will. Imagine that the pencils are your elbows. You're drawing a big circle. Come back to center, and we'll go the other way, right? Really getting into those shoulders, activating the core, really getting going this morning. Last one. I think this is our last one, actually. So one more. And pausing here at the center. Now we've done cat and cow before, and I want you to think about doing cat and cow with the block. So we're going to inhale, push up, chest up. Exhale, round, bring that block into the belly. Inhale, it lifts up, it goes overhead, chest up. Exhale, you round, you bring it into the belly. We're here for 3 more. Inhale and exhale. I'm shaking. You've got 1 more. Keep those arms active. You can always drop the block. Imagine an imaginary block. Bring it back to the center, and we'll release it to the side. Now I just want you to shake it out. Maybe give yourself a few arm rolls. And just really welcome that feeling, that release back. All right, now we're going to move on to some seated calf pumps. So what we're going to do is you're going to pump your leg up, coming onto the toes. Here, I'm going to turn to the side. You're going to pump the calves, turning up onto the toes and coming back down. Pump and come back down. But what we're going to do with the hands, we're going to stay with an inverted V, and then halfway through, we're going to rise to a V. So we'll get started. And you can always lose the arms. You can always take a break. You can always rest the legs. So we'll start pumping. Lifting and lowering. Keeping the arms in that inverted V. Keeping them engaged. Fingers are straight and extended. And I want you to think about when you're here, really lifting those heels. We're working those calves, which is really what I've heard called the second heart, right? When our calves pump, they are pumping blood into our heart. So this is something great that you could do even if you sit a lot during your day and you can't get up for a walking break. So just pump the calves. All right, now we'll move arms up. We're still pumping. Really getting ourselves worked up. And think about here that activation of the muscles. Are the legs activated? Are the arms activated? And maybe you think about widening the fingers so that you're really pushing up and out here. All right, we're still going. We have about 20 more seconds. Stay with me. Maybe you're starting to feel it in your arms. Maybe you're starting to feel it in your calves, or both. Last little bit. Keep up the good work. Keep the breath. All right, my friends. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, release. Let it go. Shake it off. We did a lot of leg work today and a lot of arm work. All right, we're going to roll forward, coming into a forward fold just to release something. And as you're here, find the breath and know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. You are exactly who you are meant to be. And that is enough. Let the breath slow down. Come back to the body. We'll slowly roll up the spine. Hands come to the heart, one hand to the belly. And soften the gaze or close the eyes. We'll continue to breathe in silence. Friends, I invite you to stay here for as long as you like. If you're ready to move on, you can blink the eyes open, the hands fall. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. It's always my honor, my privilege to guide you through class. Namaste.